Alright, before we start this video, I just wanted to say I have another channel where I play games, Mortal Kombat, and other stuff like Yakuza and everything. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. You know what I'm saying? It would be nice. But um, let's just get into the video, man. So I was just thinking yesterday. I was watching YouTube. Just I think I was watching cooking videos or something. It was no, it was Berlizzi, and I just thought about this topic that I want to talk about, and that's TV shows and movies. And it's so crazy how things have changed, as far as like, the entertainment business, you know what I'm saying? Like with the movies, for example, like I wouldn't say I'm a movie fanatic or like a avid movie watcher, but I've watched a good amount of movies in my life, you know what I'm saying? And like a different amount, like horror movies. I done seen like Friday the 13th and everything. I done watched comedy, romance. I done watched superhero movies. You know what I'm saying? The hood classics, Boys in the Hood and Friday and all that. I didn't seen a good amount of movies, and it just feels like at that time movies was just like, yeah, there were flops, but there were a good amount of movies where they felt kind of creative and like just like you could kind of see the potential of the director and the writer for the script of how they wanted the movie to be. Nowadays, it's kind of like it feels like the movies nowadays don't have a lot of passion to them. Once again, I'm not a writer, I'm not a director or anything like that. I'm just speaking from a viewer perspective. It feels like they don't have a lot of passion for, or the entertainment business isn't letting them use their full potential. And granted, I'm saying like there are good movies out there that have come out recently. I'm not saying all movies now are trash. I'm just saying a good amount of them just feel like they weren't trying. You know what I mean? Like it feels like they're trying to run with this type of certain method that they have, and they just go with it without it even like being good for the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to force agendas and force uh, certain things, and it's like you could do this a better way. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's just another thing that I don't like is unnecessary changes to stories. Like, there's no point of it. What's the point of you changing stuff to something that's already good? If the book or the whatever it was, TV show turned to movie or something, if it was already good, there's no reason for you to make unnecessary changes to characters and fucking like uh the story, you know what I'm saying? Like for example, um they're making the new Snow White movie. You're remaking the Snow White movie, but you're changing the aspect of the story. Not only that, the lady don't even like the character for real. The original character is what it seems. You know what I'm saying? And like she's got like controversy around her, but her she's not the problem. But like they're making unnecessary changes to these movies when they don't need to. You know what I'm saying? Like if the product is already good, there's no need for you to make something change only for it to come out worse. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no upside to that. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to show a strong woman, or they're trying to show something like like other people can do this too, or you got Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but they not dwarves, right? Um, but that's just one example of the movie. Like there's other things, but that was just the first one that I could think of. You know what I'm saying? Like unnecessary color swaps. You know what I'm saying? Like The Little Mermaid. I'm sure it was a good movie, but the problem that I have with that is instead of turning characters into another race, like making other characters who weren't originally black for no reason. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But at the same time, it's like instead of doing that, why don't they push new characters for black people instead of just remaking them and making them black? There's plenty of black superheroes that are out there, plenty of black fictional characters, or plenty, you know what I'm saying? Like every black film doesn't have to be about the hood or about going through like overcoming like bad situations. I'm not saying all of them are like that, but a lot of the, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them are like based on black history and everything. And black Americans, African Americans should know their black history, but there are other situations where black movies can be about the fictional characters and be done right. You don't have to have a character who was white and then just make him black and then just tell the story again. That's not like that's not really creative for me. That's just like that's you just like here, like they all go. You know what I'm saying? Like that's trash. Then you have like some instances it's cool. Like the new Superman show that's out in Adult Swim. I like that show. And Lois being black, I didn't really care for it. I'm not really a comic like I like comics, but I'm not a comic nerd to where I know everything. So like the that didn't really matter because she like the characters in the show weren't bad. You know what I'm saying? But there are just some instances where a lot of characters who turned black didn't need to be black. It wasn't necessary. All you have to do is just make a new character or make a new situation with the main character being African American. You know what I'm saying? Like it feels lazy. You know what I mean? It just feels lazy and trying to push something. It makes like you're trying to push something positive, but in the end of the day, it isn't really positive. You know what I mean? Another thing, superhero movies. People are kind of tired of them in a sense. You know what I mean? Marvel made it to a point where you had to watch TV shows and movies to keep up with how everything was gonna play out. If you miss one TV show, you might miss certain things into the movies, and it's kind of like it was just too much coming out at one time for people to keep up. You know what I mean? That's why like after Endgame, things have just been like, you know, not like it just hasn't been good. And DC, besides Batman, I feel like they can't make a good movie to save their fucking life. Suicide Squad 2 was decent. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really like. A lot of people say the first one was trash. I didn't really hate it, probably because I was a little kid at the time. I didn't really hate it. Wonder Woman. I mean, Flash. Man of Steel wasn't. Man of Steel was a decent movie. It was a decent movie, but like a lot of DC movies are garbaggio because who the fuck knows, man? Who knows? Like they just. I heard the Zack Snyder version of the Justice League was pretty good, but they just miss a lot with DC. They miss a lot, and Marvel is Marvel isn't doing so well either. I heard Madam Web was garbaggio. The Marvels I heard was garbaggio. I haven't been like even keeping up with Marvel just because it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean? The Spider-Man movies are pretty much carrying Marvel right now, if I'm gonna be honest. Because all the other ones are just like whatever, you know what I mean? Like just trash. It's just trash. What's another thing? Like, yeah, a lot of movies just feel like they're trying to force things and not being very creative with their writing, and it just makes me not want to watch it personally. Even going next to this, live action shows. Same thing I was talking about with the movies. Changing things that don't need to be changed. Why are you changing things that don't need to be changed? For example, Avatar: The Last Airbender. They didn't try to make this live action every time. They didn't try to make the movie was awful. He couldn't even say his name right. You know what I'm saying? And now they're making this live action show on, I think it's Netflix or something, and they're taking out key points of the story. For example, Sokka's character of him being a misogynist, that's getting taken out of the story. But if you watched Avatar: The Last Airbender, him being a misogynist and him getting beaten up by girls and working with the warriors, I forgot their names, but they wore like the samurai stuff. it made him realize like, hey, like maybe I should stop acting this way. It's character development, by the way. Like it's character development, and you're taking that out of the story when that's a big part of his character and his character development. Another thing that I heard that they were trying to make Avatar: The Last Airbender. They were trying to gravitate towards like Game of Thrones fans or some shit like that, and I'm like, why? Just make Avatar: The Last Airbender how it was. You know what I'm saying? Granted, there are gonna be some changes. It is live action. I understand that. But don't make unnecessary changes to the story and then you wonder why it goes trash. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. You know what I mean? Like, what's another one that I could think of? Like, I can't think of nothing right now. But that was just one of them. Sorry, on my nose. Like, I don't do no drugs and nothing like that. My nose is just itchy. But yeah, like it's so crazy to think about. Like, it's so crazy to think about how TV is not as important as it was years ago. Like everything is on streaming services and the prices are going up by the minute. If I want to watch one show, I gotta pay a whole subscription for this. You know what I'm saying? Like if I want to watch the Vince Staples show, I gotta go on Netflix. I gotta watch if I want to watch SpongeBob. If I ain't got cable, I got Amazon Prime or like The Boys, Amazon Prime, Invincible, Amazon Prime. Hulu got fucking. I ain't been on Hulu in a minute, but like Hulu got their own stuff and everything. Like everything is so separated now. Apple TV has their own stuff. Um, you know, like just different stuff. Like it's just crazy like how cable television is just non-existent now. You know what I mean? Like every TV station has their own app pretty much now. You know, you pay your subscription and everything, and not even that, just kids don't even watch TV anymore. Like everybody watches YouTube now or Twitch. You know, especially like people in my demographic are younger, you know, young adults and kids and teenagers and stuff. They watch a lot of YouTube and Twitch or just streaming in general, or like, yeah, like that's pretty much their entertainment growing up. Because you know, cartoons are gonna be cartoons, but at the end of the day, like, what's the point? I feel like kids feel like, what's the point of me even watching that when I could be entertained for a couple hours watching Casanat or, you know, like Berlizzi or Corey Kitchen, whatever. You know what I mean? And I don't have to pay for a subscription, or I don't have to, you know. Obviously, they're not really thinking of the money like that. Their parents are, but this is a free app that I can get on my phone where I ain't gotta ask my mama to pay for it. I can watch it every time because nowadays my mama or my father, in order for me to shut up, they give me the iPad, but they're not really showing me educational stuff. Not saying all parents, but I'm saying most parents. And now I'm watching Casanet and I'm watching this, but I also should be watching educational videos so that way when I go to school I can actually know something. But that's another story for another time. It's just that entertainment has changed over time, you know what I'm saying? And some little kids are probably watching me, you know what I'm saying? And being entertained by me. And that there's nothing wrong with watching YouTube. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, watching YouTube, watching Twitch. It's just that there could be other things, especially for little kids. Like if you haven't learned a lot about like ABCs and multiplication, all that stuff, I feel like they should just lean towards that sometimes, you know? Cause, you know, like they have cocoa melon and everything, obviously, you know, stuff like that. But it's just crazy because when I was a kid, being a young adult now, when I was a kid, you know, we had, you know, it's still the same things. It's like PBS Kids, you know, Cubo when you ain't had cable, when your grandma had the converter box and stuff. But you also had the cable, you know, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, stuff like that. But the shows were just different. Like, I used to watch, you know, I was watching at a good time, you know, for cartoons, you know. SpongeBob was still cool. Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron, stuff like that. Um, Cartoon Network had Codename and Foster's Home and Chowder, Flapjack, Regular Show, Adventure Time, and stuff like that. Even the other ones that you probably wouldn't even think about, Camp Laszlo, My Gym Partner's a Monkey. Like I used to sit down and watch Cartoon Network all day. You know what I'm saying? Like I could watch a Cartoon Network program all day and probably not want to skip. The only time I would want to skip is when they were showing like Lego Ninjago. I didn't watch that shit. That shit was kind of trash to me. I wasn't really a Lego fan growing up or nothing like that. But even with like Disney and stuff, I wasn't really a Disney type of guy. I did watch Disney XD though, you know, Phineas and Ferb, Kick Butowski, Kicking It, Zeke and Luther. Like that was my shit growing up. Pair of Kings. But my sisters were like, I would watch what my sisters would be watching because, you know, just being around them and I'm younger than them. They would have a remote and shit. I'm watching Hannah Montana, That's So Raven, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, shit like that. And I'm glad I did watch it because that shit fire. You know what I mean? And a lot of kids now don't really get to experience that because that it's not on there anymore. Yeah, they can go back and watch it, but being able to be excited to watch new episodes of like your TV shows that you watch, it just hit different back in the day. You know what I mean? Like now it's like, let me get a account to log in on this app and watch the show, you know. But going through TV and having to set your DVR or some shit like that or record the thing, I never really did that. But wanting to you're waiting all day to watch your favorite show come on at that certain time because it was a new episode, or when Disney Channel and Nickelodeon they had their own crossovers on their channels and everything, like Hannah Montana, Sweet Life, and Which Is Where We Place and all of that would come together, or That's So Raven and Jimmy Timmy Power Hour and all of that. Like those were like good times, you know what I'm saying? Like Disney Channel original movies, you know, like it's just, you know, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Disney movies don't even hit the same anymore, man. Like I think the last Disney movie that I actually liked that I watched was Inside Out. I haven't really been keeping up with Disney movies, but I heard a lot of them are garbaggio. But it's just crazy. It's crazy, man. Like another thing, like watching wrestling back then and waiting all day to watch Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown, or you know when it was on Thursdays, especially when you didn't. I was watching SmackDown, especially when I didn't have cable and I was at my grandma's house, or just you know when I ain't had cable. SmackDown used to come on regular TV, so I would have my converter box, my grandma's converter box, and I would just switch to that channel. I'd just be watching it then. But even just like watching John Cena and Randy Orton and Triple H and Batista and Undertaker, all of them, it just hit different, man. I'm not wrestling. Wrestling's at a good point right now, but it just hit different back then, man. The ups and the downs, it just hit different. And yeah, man, cable television is just like non-existent, man. I feel like even when I was watching like kids shows back in the day, like yeah, they were like crazy and goofy and shit, but there were cartoons that would give lessons in their episodes, but they would do it the right way. It didn't feel forced. Like some like Teen Titans dealing with racism, or like you know just Static Shock doing the same thing. You know, like just different lessons. Even within anime, I can't really say anime back in the day because I didn't start watching anime until like 4 years ago. So even then, they give out good lessons. You know, in One Piece, being whoever you want to be, and Naruto just One Piece no matter what. You know, everything like that. Definitely good stories and everything. But going back to when I was like a real little kid, like kindergarten ages and everything, 2 to 5 years old, 1 to 5 years old. PBS Kids was a big thing, you know what I mean? Like Curious George, Arthur before they changed the animation, Thomas before he, whatever the fuck he is now, Bob the Builder before whatever the fuck he is now. You know, Cat in the Hat, you know, Cyber Chase, Electric Company. I would learn stuff from that and take it to school and actually be like, damn, I know this stuff now. Like, granted, I was learning on my own anyway, but those helped a lot as well. You know, helping me sound words out. You know, ABCs and spelling and stuff, and you know, just learning new words and everything. Like, it's very important. You know, Sesame Street was still good back then. You know, Maya Miguel, Word Girl, Martha Speaks. You know what I mean? Like, with Cubo, you had Turbo Dogs, Jacob Tutu, Marvin the Tap Dancing Horse, Babar, Jane the Dragon, Willis Wildlife. Like, it was so much, so many cartoons, whether I had cable or not, that I can go to and actually enjoy. You know, He-Man and She-Ra playing at 3, 4 in the morning. Like, watching Tom and Jerry at 7 in the morning, Looney Tunes and stuff. Like, is just looking back at it, is things have changed a lot. You know, things have really changed a lot, especially with the entertainment business. And like, everybody wants to make, pretty much now it feels like, when in doubt, let's make a remake of something, or let's make a remake and make some unnecessary changes to it. Like, they're making a Harry Potter show for what? That's what the movies are for. Like, they're just doing unnecessary shit. Like, I don't know, man. But that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. TV is not a big thing anymore. Was Cable isn't really a big thing anymore, and like, media has changed so much. Movies are just different now because they feel kind of lazy. They basically really talking about the remakes and just all of that stuff, and trying to push things that don't need to be pushed, or pushing things and using it in the wrong sense in the movie, to where it just doesn't feel like it's supposed to be part of the movie. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to talk about. Yeah, so check out my other channel. And another question I wanted to ask y'all, because my name is Thunder, right? How do y'all feel about being called my clouds? I was thinking about that because, like, I was looking at different types of clouds, and they all come around in different situations, in different moods, in different types of the weather. And I feel like my audience is pretty diverse. Everybody has their own personality and everything. And you know, thunderclouds, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's it. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and I'm out, man. Peace.